ladies and gentlemen, who fired former CS Moses Kuria? Now, I'm asking this question because is it Rigathi Gachagua or the president who fired him? The reason why I'm asking this question is because of the following arguments. First of all, Moses Kuria was among the most performing cabinet secretaries under William Ruto's docket. And these dockets that he was given were because of his knowledge about economics. He first served as the ministry under the trade docket, and actually during that time he portrayed a lot of competency because he knew what he was talking about and what he was doing. Despite of his arrogance, we saw Moses Kuria's knowledge, his intelligence whenever he had a chance to speak about what he's doing. When he was given the role as a public service docket cabinet secretary, he has well portrayed a lot of innovation because he was talking of having the NYS being the first people given the priority during the recruitment of the police force. We also didn't just see that. He also talked of having government workers working under contracts to enhance performance of the government employees. Now, Moses Kuria generally portrayed a lot of competence, a lot of knowledge in terms of running his dockets. But William Ruto still decided to fire this gentleman. But is it really William Ruto who fired him? Was it his own decision? That is the question I'm asking on this video. But before I dissect on this video, kindly, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment because that's the best support you can always give this channel. Now, protests occurred in that country. The Gen Zs and millennials were demanding that the William Ruto to dissolve the cabinet completely and everyone to go home. After that, some cabinet secretaries were reinstated after William Ruto had dismissed them. And among these, Moses Kuria was not one of them. Despite having most of them coming from the region of Mount Kenya, still Moses Kuria did not make it. Then I asked myself, was the dismissal, were the protests used just as an excuse to dismiss Moses Kuria from the cabinet? Was it a chance that presented itself to get rid of Moses Kuria? Now, going forward, people like Kithure Kindiki, people like Muturi, people like Alice Wahome, they did not perform as much as Moses Kuria did, according to my observation, because there are so many dark things about Kithure Kindiki. People can say he's the one who performed the most, but he's the one who was in charge when the young Kenyans were being killed. Therefore, Moses Kuria did not have such bad things following him as these other cabinet secretaries. When you look at Alice Wahome, was not a performer. Nobody actually heard of her from her any other time because there was nothing significant he did during his time as during the first cabinet of William Ruto. Also, when you talk of Muturi was an attorney general, and during that time we didn't see Muturi perform well as it's supposed to happen because we saw most of the government cases being dismissed in court. Therefore, Moses Kuria being a performer than all these people, why was he dismissed from government? Now, will he be left out of Ruto's government entirely? Now, before I do that, let me just take you through on why I feel that the person who fired Moses Kuria, it is not the president, but it was the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Why am I saying so? First of all, it was very clear that Rigathi Gachagua was telling President William Ruto after the dismissal of the cabinet that don't bring back people to the cabinet when you are kona kiburi. Kiburi simply means people who are proud, who are showing pride to Kenyans, who are ignorant of what Kenyans are experiencing. He was insisting this in most of the rallies that he went. And according to me during that time, he was referring to Moses Kuria himself. Why am I saying so? It's because these two gentlemen, Moses Kuria and the deputy president, had been engaged in various conflicts. They were actually exchanging openly in the public until to an extent where Moses Kuria was openly speaking about their differences on TV in various mainstreams in the country, and that showed very well that the two gentlemen were not doing well in a relationship. They were in the same government, but they were not speaking from the same docket. Now, when we check, when Moses Kuria, when Rigathi Gachagua was moving across Mount Kenya, telling the people about one man, one vote, one shilling, one of the first people who came out to castigate this kind of a move, it was Moses Kuria himself. People say that it was used by the President William Ruto. It was unleashed actually by President William Ruto to come out and counter Gachagua. Plus many other like Mani Chung, of course. But Moses Kuria was among the forefront people who were ensuring that Rigathi Gachagua's slogans in the mountain were not succeeding. He was diminishing the DP that he had not performed in some of the roles that he has been given. Now he's telling people about one man, one shilling, yet he's in government himself. Let him use the post that they have as people from Mount Kenya to change that region before they go to another agenda. And actually he was very clear on this. On both vernacular radio stations and TV stations, and also the mainstream like Citizen TV, where everyone is watching what is happening. It just didn't stop there. Rigathi Gachagua talked of disrespect that has been happening to him, particularly when he was having rallies during the 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. He said that mawaziri kidogo wanakuja kumtusi yeye. You know, he was referring to Moses Kuria, the man. So therefore, the reason as why I feel that Moses Kuria was sacked by DP himself are those things that I've mentioned. His differences with the DP of the Republic of Kenya. And therefore, when the opportunity presented itself, where DP had to have a say on some of the few people that are supposed to make it back to the cabinet, he brought his friends. One of them, Muturi. Why am I saying Muturi? Muturi actually took the docket to Moses Kuria. But Muturi was one of the guys who was defended by DP Gachagua lately after his son was abducted. And coincidentally, he's the one replacing Moses Kuria in the same docket that they were given. Therefore, I feel strongly that Moses Kuria had a hand in ensuring that Moses Kuria is not returned back to the cabinet. Now, after all these have happened, will William Ruto leave Moses Kuria out of government? For me, I think it's a big no. Why am I saying so? First of all, Moses Kuria, being a brilliant and intelligent politician from the mountain, representing one of the biggest counties in the mountain, that is Kiambu, Moses Kuria cannot be left out of government. According to my statistics right now, Moses Kuria is the most popular politician from Kiambu County. Nobody can deny that, because he's most loved by people. Whenever he speaks, you can see the reaction from people. People are all happy listening to him. So therefore, I personally feel leaving such a person out of government is very dangerous. If it shifts from you as an individual, as the President William Ruto, then most probably William Ruto, when it comes to 2027, he might lose in most of the parts of the region. Another reason as to why I feel he cannot leave him behind is because Moses Kuria easily makes friends. We've seen him before visiting Raila Amolo Odinga, who is currently now in the government. He has previously been interacting with various leaders across the country. Actually, even he was launching the industrial parks across the country, he was easily intermingling. Actually, even quoting Simbarati said, they rather listen to Moses Kuria than the Deputy President William Ruto, who was tribalistic. So therefore, from this point, I want to speak that Moses Kuria, because of his ability in politics, he cannot be left out of government. Another thing I feel is that if this gentleman is left free, the opposition might come for him. And that might give William Ruto a huge task when it comes to 2027. Okay? Now, Ruto needs people like Moses Kuria. He needs people to counter challenges across the country. Despite having the gentleman, the Raila Amolo Odinga's team with him, there will be opposition from various quarters. And I feel Moses Kuria can be the people who will be championing or speaking on behalf of William Ruto. But I feel strongly that if William Ruto leaves this gentleman outside government, probably he's going to fail terribly as a man. Now, Rigathi Gachagua is part. Rigathi Gachagua wants Moses Kuria completely out of government. Why so? Because of the kind of competition that Moses Kuria is giving from the region. He was turning out to be more popular. People are turning to love Moses Kuria more. And personally, I feel that if Rigathi Gachagua didn't ensure this guy is out, probably Moses Kuria could have been fronted to be the Deputy President of William Ruto in 2027. Nevertheless, Rigathi Gachagua still has so many people within Kenya Kwanza, who are from Mount Kenya, that are constantly challenging him when it comes to the leadership of the mountain. But Moses Kuria being left out of the government is the greatest risk that President William Ruto can ever take as an individual. I don't know what is your take about this topic, but kindly, if you feel that Moses Kuria should be left out of government or not, please just type a yes or no. My name is Abel Mukua. That's my video there and there. Keep following for the videos we do here, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. See you next time for the same videos.